What is the most evil company and why? Didn't Nestle give baby formula to women in third world countries for free for amount of time, and once the women had stopped producing breast milk they hiked up the price of the formula, leaving the women unable to feed their children whatsoever? Not even going into their ridiculous hike up on bottled water. I read about them doing this in third world countries, setting themselves up at the local birthing hospitals and paying the doctors and nurses to give it out like it was health advice and health products from a trusted source. But it was for-profit private products designed specifically to harm newborns, children, mothers, and families for profit. And they did this for years and then fought to continue doing it once they were exposed. They also steal third world countries' water, and use human slave labor on a mass scale. Nestlé might win this contest. I have had brief interactions with Nestlé through my work. And frankly even the people I dealt with were assholes. Their feedback and commentary was horrendous and insulting to the outside people involved. It wasn't helpful, just cruel. Horrible company with shitty people. Recently, Nestlé was trying to bottle up a water source near me. The town it was in held a meeting to get some of the locals' input, so Nestlé sent busloads of workers in the morning to fill up seats so that there was no room for the locals to get in. The East India Trading Company. They legit conquered and ran India with an iron fist. They also ran opium with the Chinese, which led to the Opium Wars. A company conquered a country. East India Trading Company is the closest thing to cyberpunk megacorps we ever had. In goddamn 17th century. Sanlu Group. The name may not be familiar, but in 2008 they were the center of an incident in China where their company replaced milk protein in baby formula with the chemical melamine, formaldehyde resin. 6 babies died, 54,000 babies had kidney damage, many of whom are still on dialysis today, and 300,000 suffered the effects of malnutrition. Even by Chinese business standards, this was evil. A number of company owners were executed and some staff at the local government testing body were jailed for life. This was one of the largest ever food contamination incidents in the world, and it severely damaged the confidence of the Chinese public in their own food system. So much so, even today in 2018, in the country I live in, Australia, baby formula has become a hard-to-buy item in our local supermarkets. Many local Chinese immigrants routinely descend on supermarkets across the country to buy up all stocks of baby formula every day to send to relatives back home in China who resell the quality product at a profit. Purdue Pharma, check the ongoing opiate/heroin epidemic. They gave the world OxyContin, paid off doctors to prescribe it and straight-up lied, saying it wasn't addicting. Their marketing campaign and fundamentally corrupt ethics are a big reason tens of thousands of people are dying out here. Made billions and paid off like a few million, they made bank, and society/taxpayers are footing the bill. First thing that came to my mind, and I can't believe I had to scroll this far down to find it. Also, I hear now they're marketing the cure to opioid addiction as well, the ultimate perfect circle of marketing. But sadly their cure will just be another drug that attaches to the same receptors in the brain. That still affects the user negatively, but they'll say, hey, it's better than the heroin you're using. Opioids have a place in medicine, but not what these asshats created. Amway, because it is one of the biggest scams and brainwashed culture. Dangerous and ruined many lives. Saw a similar thread a long time ago, so I'm just gonna drop this here. Look no further than Shell Oil in Nigeria. Shell Oil, acting as a multinational global conglomerate and one of the largest companies on earth, were paying bribes to government officials in Nigeria. They were paying the military to conduct raids on innocent protesters' homes and ended up hanging innocent protest leaders in order to suppress the protesting against Shell. Bayer infected thousands of people with HIV to avoid a $4 million loss of product by selling to other countries. De Beers wanted access to a mine under tribal land. Went ahead and cut off their water supply, tortured, and beat the tribesmen until they left. Chiquita/United Fruit Company, massacred roughly 3,000 workers that went on strike. Cocaine smuggling, pollution, bribery of officials, corruption, and the use of paramilitary forces. Bayer infected thousands of people with HIV to avoid a $4 million loss of product by selling to other countries. De Beers wanted access to a mine under tribal land, went ahead and cut off their water supply, tortured, and beat the tribesmen until they left. Chiquita/United Fruit Company massacred roughly 3,000 workers that went on strike. Cocaine smuggling, pollution, bribery of officials, corruption, and the use of paramilitary forces. Bayer infected thousands of people with HIV to avoid a $4 million loss of product by selling to other countries. De Beers wanted access to a mine under tribal land, went ahead and cut off their water supply, tortured, and beat the tribesmen until they left. Chiquita/United Fruit Company massacred roughly 3,000 workers that went on strike. Cocaine smuggling, pollution, bribery of officials, corruption, and the use of paramilitary forces. Doofenshmirtz Incorporated. Can you blame him? Neither of his parents bothered showing up when he was born. I'd have an evil corporation too. He was raised by ocelots. His father made him wear a lawn gnome costume and stand still 724. His brother was loved more than him and his only friends were a giant roach and a balloon. Let's not forget that his mother's love was always inexplicably linked to kickball, meaning he couldn't kick his way right into her heart. Curfew Perry the Platypus.
Subscribe to our channel if you liked our videos. Hit the notification bell to get notified.